Welcome, everybody, to episode number 42. I'm here with Mr. Yarwood from Yarwood's Martial Arts, and we are about to start part 2 of Self-Talk, the 5 practical strategies to implement positive self-talk in martial arts training, which consists of create power statements, reframe negative thoughts, practice visualization with affirmations, implement a self-talk journal, use breathing as a reset cue. And we're super excited to be here with you. Last week when we did part 1 of self-talk, it was so fun and so successful, we decided that we would turn it into 2 parts. And we would follow up with part 2, the 5 practical strategies, this week. So I'm super excited, and I see we already have a couple people here. Let's see who has joined us already. They are on Twitter, which I know is X. I know. I'm behind the times. It's just so easy to remember, and I loved that name. It was kind of a fun name, Twitter. X is like pretty, I don't know.
Let's call it Twitter X.
Oh, yeah, excellent, exactly. But I wanted to start off today. I have a sheet that I carry around with me in my back pocket that has 2 parts to it. One, my personal affirmations, and it also has verses for me, because I am a follower of Christ, verses to memorize from the Bible. And I always joke because the shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept, and it's from John 11, chapter 11, verse 35, and it's 2 words. So it was the first verse I memorized. So I kind of joke
even
about
before John 3:16?
Yes, sir. Even before John 3:16. Because it was 2 words. My personal affirmations, I have 19 of them. And the idea behind this is one of those things that we just spoke about, creating power statements, reframing negative thoughts, practicing visualization with affirmations. And I've been doing this now for over 5 years. And let me share what they are, because they're fun, and they make me smile, and they keep me connected to what I would say are the power points of my life. Number 1, I'm the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. Number 2, God, my CEO, has my past and my tomorrow, allowing me to be present with now. I possess the qualities needed to be extremely successful. My business is growing, expanding, and thriving. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. I am blessed with an incredible family and wonderful friends. I acknowledge my own self-worth. My confidence is soaring. My body is healthy. My mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. My obstacles are moving out of my way. My path is carved towards greatness. I wake up today with strength in my heart and clarity in my mind. My fears of tomorrow are simply melting away. I'm at peace with all that has happened, is happening, and will happen. I am superior to negative thoughts and low actions. I have been given endless talents, which I begin to utilize today. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. A river of compassion washes away my anger and replaces it with love. I'm guided in my steps by God, who leads me towards what I must know and do. My marriage is becoming stronger, deeper, and more stable each day. And lastly, I'm podcasting with God's purpose, passion, power, and integrity. And those are my personal affirmations, and I carry them with me everywhere I go. Over to you, Mr. Yarwood.
Well, I don't have any personal affirmations like that. So I can't follow up with that part. But for me, self-talk is, I think, something that it's a constant. It's always happening, right? I'm always thinking about things, and because my mind always works, and I catch myself with saying things to myself that I know are going to be harmful, and I'm very cognizant of that. And being the martial arts instructor, I'm always telling my kids about how they're supposed to talk to themselves, what they say to themselves. And I'll catch kids saying things they may not even realize that it's a negative, right? The way they say, like when we're talking about when they're training, right? They they say something like, "Oh, it's so hard," or "I wish I was better," right? And they don't realize that that can have some negative connotations on how their brain thinks about what they're doing. And your brain listens to you, and it responds to you, and it does the things you tell it. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And when you fill it with the things that, even though they might not seem like outrightly negative, they're detrimental to your progress, or detrimental to your thought process, or detrimental to where you're going in your life. And when I remind them of what they're saying to themselves, they start to understand what it is that makes them who they are. And when they start rephrasing what they're saying, right, we give them an opportunity. So like I told you before, we don't allow the word can't in their vocabulary. It's not allowed in our school. We rephrase it to currently unable, because as of right now, you may be struggling with it, but if you work at it and you tell yourself you can do it, you will. But when you say can't, you immediately stop yourself from doing what it is that you're doing, because your brain goes, oh, okay, we can't do it. So I change things a little bit for them so that they understand that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have, challenges. But when you put yourself down for not being able to do something, your brain listens to you. So I'm very cognizant of that. My students think I have like ears and eyes everywhere because I hear and see everything. They don't like, how did you even know I said that from across the dojo, right? It's like, because it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I can hear it. And I address it immediately because I really want them to think and understand and know what it is they're saying to themselves and how impactful it can be. And then I also talk to the parents about it as well, and not only what their kids are saying, but what they're saying to their kids and what their kids are hearing from them. And if you are, there's negative connotations with things, kids pick up on that stuff, especially from their parents, right? Because they're looking for guidance from their parents. And if the parents are phrasing things in such a way that when they say something, kids hear it negatively, it has that effect on them. And it can be even worse when a parent says something like that. So I help the parents to understand that kids are going to struggle, kids are going to be naughty, whatever. But when you phrase things differently to them, when you call them out on, they're going to understand that it's important for them to change their behavior, but it also be a positive impact on them, so that going forward they're going to think about what they're doing. So that positive thoughts going in their head, right? That's helping them to become a better version of themselves, because now they're talking positively about themselves, even when they struggle.
And, to your point, I think as we do that, we are in essence programming ourselves. And people go, oh, well, it sounds like brainwashing. Well, yeah, it is.
How do you think you got all that stuff in your head in the first place?
I look at these people and go, oh, you were brainwashed by the military. It's like, well, yeah, because they were training me to be able to respond without having to question the order. Because as bullets are flying at you, you don't go, oh, well, excuse me, Lieutenant, why do I need to go from here to there? Because the lieutenant would look at you and just say, with some expletives, say, move.
Move your backside or get it shot off.
And I think that, for me, when I look at that positive self-talk, there's so much in society that is telling us we're not good enough, trying to sell us on a new drug or sell us on a new concept or have us try and be reliant on the government. Yuck.
Or change our how we view things. Like, we talk about, people don't like to talk about it, but obesity, and they're changing what the meaning of being obese is to a positive. It's okay to look like that. You be comfortable in your own skin. Well, yeah, that's fine, but when you're unhealthy, it doesn't help you. You can have all the positive self-talk in the world, but if you're not doing the stuff that's going to make you healthy, it's not going to help you. You're just going to talk yourself into being something that you shouldn't be. It can have that effect, right? And then when they change the nomenclature around something that is unhealthy, people start to get it in their heads. Oh, it's okay if I'm like this. I just love me the way I am. Well, sure, but at some point it's going to have negative consequences for you. So when you change things to make it seem like it's good, it can have a lot of power, and it's not good.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, sir. I see Rena from the Philippines is watching. Hi, Rena. It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. And she was agreeing with us.
The Philippines? Holy
yes,
smokes.
Sir. Yes, sir. And we have, she is looking at Facebook. Less is more coaching, and that's where she's watching this from. Thank you so much for watching. So as we go into this, breathing is another piece. I think one of the things that gets people so revved up is they get stressed. Their heart starts racing and they start breathing faster. And it occurs to them, I'm not getting enough air.
Then they start hyperventilating.
Bingo. So to be responsible for that is to settle and breathe deeply and follow your breath in and follow your breath out. And all of a sudden, as you do that, and if you do that with a modicum of slowness, you will settle your body, your mind, and your spirit.
Breath is life.
And life is about relax, focus, and execute.
Yeah, like when we start our form, right? We get in our ready stance. For me, my form takes 2.5 minutes to do. And if I started out without breathing first and settling myself, it gets challenging. So I start my form, my body just, and then I go. And that immediate breath tells my body, all right, let's go. To keep myself calm while I'm doing my form so I don't get too excited, start going too fast. And it really sets that mindset for what it is I'm getting ready to do.
Yeah. I like this number 4, implement a self-talk journal. There's a lot of people that have a lot of noise going on in their head. And one of the things that I, as a business coach, have oftentimes told people is to be responsible for and have an experience of getting what's in here out onto a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And creating that their mind is empty and it's meaningless that it's empty, and they can fill it with anything.
Yeah, I think there's some huge value to writing things down. It's almost cathartic. Because if you're struggling with something and it just keeps coming up, to write it down, and then you basically detach yourself from it, and then you reread what it is that you're thinking about, you're like, wait a minute, right? It changes the pattern of what it is that you're thinking, because you're like, that's, maybe that's kind of silly to be thinking that, or maybe that has more power than it should in what's going on in my head. And you can read it back to yourself and go, okay, now I see what's going on, and you can reevaluate what's going on in your head, because it's out and you can see it and it's visual and you can read it, and then you can deconstruct it and figure out what it's doing to you. And then down the road, you can go back and go, oh, I remember when I was thinking that. If you're having the same issues again, what did I do to last time to fix that? And it becomes a process.
So with that, think about anything that we have. We're told to, if you have a dream, write a dream down. If you have a positive thought, some people have what I call not nightmares, because those are at night, but they're daymares. And I tell people, write them down, get them out of your head, put them on a piece of paper, and have it be empowering versus disempowering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be pretty powerful to read back to yourself what you're thinking, because then you're like, oh man, I got to change how I'm doing that. I got to change how I think about that, because when it's written down, they go being positive or being negative to being positive. How can I reconstruct my thoughts so that thought becomes a positive thought and not a negative thought?
Amen. And I was just looking to see if I had another note here. I think also one of the things that, as we jot notes down, I mean, there are people that write books from their notes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the fun thing about it. You start journaling, there could be a hidden benefit to journaling.
And it's fun to go back and read it. You know, 5 years down the road, you find a journal. Oh, what was I thinking about 5 years ago? And you're going, whoa, holy smokes, right? You start to see yourself in a different light. Like, man, I've changed since then. Hopefully for the better.
Amen. Isn't that the truth? I think also once it's on a piece of paper, you can actually look at it and you can discern, is this, is this real? Is this made up? Is this something that I can work with? Is this something that I can sculpt into something else? But when it's trapped inside you, all it does is create pollution.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It feeds on itself too.
Yep. The rolling stone.
Yep. It's I think people discount just how powerful their mind is. I don't think they really, I mean, it's kind of ironic that you have to put thought into what you think. But that's where everything comes from. That's where all of your activity is. That's where all of your everything that you do starts. It's all up in your head, and people don't really tap in, I think, to what the true power is that they have in their brain. They don't utilize it. They don't realize what they got up there. It's the most powerful computer in the world.
Yes, it is. And it's fun to see how you can train it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Something I've been doing recently, I guess it's not necessarily directly to our topic, but I've been really getting into messing with AI a little bit and just having fun with it, like creating things. I'll just give it like some silly idea and see what it can come up with, right? Sometimes it's nonsense, but sometimes it's actually kind of fun. Like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And then I've been making personal music, because I found a music AI that you prompt it with some things, and it comes up with a song for you. And it's kind of fun because now my brain is starting to attune itself to what AI is looking for and prompting, so it can come up with some things that are just super cool. And then I can take those ideas, manifest them into something that I'm thinking about, right? And it's been so much fun to just kind of do that, because I've been able to expand how I think about things, because it's you get so narrow focused sometimes on things, and like I just throw an idea in a chat GPT and it says, oh, what about this? I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. I should try that. It's super fun, right? But it's also, that is helping me to be more positive too, because I'm enjoying it, and it's expanding my knowledge base. And when you do that, you start to feel positive about yourself, because you feel like, oh wow, this is really fun. There's way more things that I don't know that I can learn. How late
am I? And I said 24 minutes, but that's all right. That's Darlene. She's awesome. Darlene, you'll catch up. And it's a good time for us to actually do a little review for the last 5 minutes, and then come and just make some final thoughts. So we're talking about 5 practical strategies to implement positive self-talk in martial arts training. I went through my 19 affirmations that I say, and here are the 5. 1 is create power statements. 2 is reframe negative thoughts. 3, practice visualization with affirmations. 4, implement a self-talk journal. And finally, number 5, use breathing as a reset cure. So, with that being said, I'm going to go back and touch on reframing negative thoughts. Because I think one of the things that people are not conscious of is how many negative thoughts we have from decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
And how
that buildup.
Oh. So to be responsible for that, I think that we could support each other. We could look at a martial arts to create a structure that can support us. We could do, a martial art that explores breathing and in that breathing have us test through our heartbeat, how is that impacting us? Is that breath work actually making a difference? And I'll tell you, one of my testimonies, my favorite testimonies, is being at the dentist. And I had just come into the parking lot. I'd been yelled at by a client. I had had one of the high school kids yell at me from the ice cream shop. And I was not a happy camper. And I walked in and I was, and my heart rate was 99. And she said, if you hit 100, we can't do any dental work on you. So.
Is that good or bad? Darn it. You can't drill my teeth today. That's too bad.
Yeah. And I immediately went into meditation. And I sat there and went, and I played music. And the music calmed me down. And within 3 minutes, I was down in the 70s.
Yep. There's a lot of power in that.
Yes, sir. So, Darlene says, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the end of our time. Is there anything else you wanted to share with people tonight, Mr. Yarwood?
No, I think the biggest way to have the effects of positive self-talk is to listen to yourself first. What are you saying? And like we talked about, writing it down. What are you saying to yourself? And don't pick and choose, right? Just write things down. If you're having, just pick 5 minutes of your day and say, okay, I'm going to write down all the thoughts that I have for the next 5 minutes, right? Or every time I have a thought, positive or negative, I'm going to write it down and then review it and see how much negative talk you are actually having with yourself, right? Don't try and pick and choose. Just write it all down, right? And then go back through it and read all the thoughts that you have and excuse me, how much of that is negative? And then go, okay, this is impacting who I am. And this is impacting how I go through my day. What can I do with these negative thoughts to fix them? So I either, one, catch myself thinking them and adjust, or two, adjust how I think in the first place. And you'll be surprised at how much you really do talk negatively about yourself. And it's not going to be like, some of them are very subtle. It's not going to be like a direct, oh, I hate myself, I suck. Well, those are obvious ones, right? But when you start talking about your abilities, about how you're not able to do things, or I always mess up, right? That's a negative thought. It doesn't come across necessarily harsh, but your brain hears it that way. You always mess up. Okay, well then let's always mess up. And then you keep messing up. It's still a negative thought. So when you have that and you can see it and read it and go, oh man, I need to change how I talk to myself. You'll be surprised.
And have fun. Don't be serious.
Yeah.
Don't be significant.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much for episode 42. And thank you for popping in, Darlene. Thank you for being here, even if at the last minute. Rena, thank you for being here, Rena. It's great to see you, and glad things are going well for you in the Philippines. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. And with that, stay out of trouble.
See you on the mats.
And dun 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 dun.